Welcome back my channel Numismatics Hub. Did you know that a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, sold for over $1 million? That's right, the humble Lincoln penny isn't just pocket change. It's a treasure trove of history and hidden fortune. In this video, we reveal the rarest, most valuable Lincoln pennies ever found, what makes them worth thousands, even millions, and how you might already own one. Don't click away. Your loose change could be priceless. In 1988, the world was witnessing the final decade of the Cold War. Personal computers were beginning to find their place in homes, and the American economy was experiencing a phase of growth and innovation. Against this dynamic backdrop, the United States Mint continued to produce the humble penny, specifically the Lincoln cent, which had become one of the most recognized coins in American history. But out of the millions minted that year, one particular 1988 penny would rise to unexpected fame, commanding a price of over $214,500. To appreciate the significance of this coin, we must begin with its origins. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse featured a right-facing portrait of Lincoln, making it the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1959, the reverse design was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 1988, the penny was well into its Lincoln Memorial design era. These coins were made of a copper-plated zinc composition, a change that had been instituted in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Most 1988 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. At first glance, there was nothing remarkable about them. Billions were struck that year. But numismatics often surprises collectors with rare errors or anomalies, and that's precisely what happened here. One extraordinary 1988 penny emerged with a rare transitional error involving the obverse die. While 1988 cents were supposed to be struck with the new reverse die introduced in 1982, a few were accidentally struck using a reverse die from an earlier design, what collectors refer to as the 1988 reverse of 1989, or more specifically, the close AM reverse variety. The spacing between the A and M in America on the reverse was noticeably closer than usual, a characteristic that immediately piqued the interest of seasoned collectors. What made this variety especially valuable was its accidental nature. Dies are not supposed to be reused improperly across different production years. The mistake was rare, and only a handful of these error coins were ever discovered. Adding to the allure, this specific example was found in uncirculated, mint state condition, and was graded MS69 red by PCGS. A virtually perfect coin with full original luster and no visible contact marks. It was preserved flawlessly, standing out even further in a sea of billions. When this 1988 close AM penny came to auction, the combination of rarity, condition, and the high grade sparked fierce bidding. It ultimately sold for $214,500, an eye-watering sum for a coin many would overlook in spare change. But this penny was far from ordinary. It was a numismatic marvel, a fluke of the minting process that turned a common coin into a coveted treasure. What fascinates collectors about coins like this is the sheer improbability of their existence. Every step of a coin's production, from die creation to striking to distribution, is governed by strict quality control. Yet, occasionally, human error or mechanical oversight leads to anomalies that slip through the cracks. These coins become symbols of both imperfection and serendipity, telling stories that standard issue coins never could. The appeal of the 1988 penny isn't limited to seasoned collectors. Stories of people discovering rare coins in pocket change or inherited coin jars continue to inspire a new generation of enthusiasts. The excitement of potentially finding a rare error coin drives people to learn more about minting processes, grading systems, and the rich history of American currency. It democratizes the world of collecting, reminding us that treasures sometimes lie in the most unexpected places. To identify a valuable 1988 penny, collectors should look closely at the reverse lettering. On regular 1988 cents, the letters A and M in America are spaced noticeably apart. On the error coin, however, the two letters are so close that they nearly touch, hence the term close AM. Other diagnostic markers include the design of the FG initials, for engraver Frank Casparo, near the Lincoln Memorial, which differs slightly between the normal and erroneous dies. Authentication is critical when it comes to high-value coins. Professional grading by PCGS, NGC, or another reputable service provides not only verification, but also helps establish market confidence. The coin's grade directly influences its value, with higher grades attracting exponentially higher prices. The $214,500 price tag for this particular specimen is a direct reflection of its MS69 grade, the rarity of the error, and the demand among collectors for such unique finds. The 1988 close AM penny serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest and seemingly mundane items can carry immense historical and monetary value. It underscores the beauty of coin collecting, a hobby that blends art, history, and the thrill of discovery. It also proves that vigilance and curiosity can lead to incredible rewards. As we reflect on this remarkable coin, we are reminded that numismatics is not just about money, it's about stories. Stories of mistakes that became miracles, of tiny objects that reflect vast histories, and of everyday people who stumble upon something extraordinary. The 1988 USA 1-cent close AM coin is one of those stories, an unassuming penny that grew to become a $214,500 legend. So, the next time you sift through a handful of change or clean out an old drawer, take a moment. Flip that penny over. You just might be holding a piece of history worth far more than its copper weight. At number 2 in 2008, as the United States grappled with a significant financial crisis, the humble penny continued to be minted and circulated by the millions. At the same time that major financial institutions were teetering and global markets were trembling, the U.S. Mint carried on with one of its most enduring traditions, producing the Lincoln cent. This coin, often overlooked and undervalued, would in rare instances become something of legend. And that's precisely what happened with one extraordinary 2008 Lincoln penny that would ultimately come to be valued at an astounding $145,000. To understand why a 1-cent coin from 2008 could fetch such a high price, one must begin with the coin's context and origins. The Lincoln cent had been in production since 1909 and featured the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Since 1959, the reverse depicted the Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Casparo, replacing the earlier wheat ears design. In 1982, the mint transitioned from a copper alloy to a copper-plated zinc composition to reduce production costs. This composition remained in use through 2008, the final full year of the Lincoln Memorial design, before a redesign celebrating Lincoln's bicentennial debuted in 2009. The 2008 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 primary facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, for proof coins. Billions were struck that year, most destined to clink endlessly in pockets, jars, and registers. But among these countless coins, one stood out due to a combination of mint error and nearly flawless preservation. This particular coin featured a rare double die obverse (DDO) error. This type of error occurs during the hubbing process, when the coin's die receives misaligned impressions of the design, causing elements to appear doubled. On the 2008 DDO penny, doubling was most evident in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2008. This rare anomaly instantly caught the attention of seasoned collectors and numismatists. Adding to the coin's rarity was its pristine condition. It was certified and graded MS70 red by PCGS, the highest grade possible, signifying a perfect strike and immaculate surface with full red luster. The flawless state of this error coin made it one of a kind, a perfect storm of minting mishap and preservation miracle. Collectors and investors flock to such coins not only for their rarity, but also for the intrigue and unpredictability they bring to the world of numismatics. An error that results in visible design doubling, paired with a pristine state, elevates a common coin to legendary status. When this particular 2008 Lincoln cent came to auction, fierce bidding drove its price to an astonishing $145,000. The allure of such coins lies in their dual nature. They are accidents that become masterpieces. The fact that such value could be found in an everyday item challenges our perceptions of worth. A penny, literally the lowest denomination in U.S. currency, commanding a six-figure price, speaks volumes about the value collectors place on rarity, beauty, and historical significance. For collectors seeking to identify a similar treasure, the signs are subtle but detectable. Close inspection under magnification can reveal the doubling on the obverse inscriptions. The coin must also exhibit full mint red color, with no signs of wear or handling. Authentication from a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC is essential, both to confirm the error and to determine the condition accurately. The story of the 2008 1-cent coin is also a reminder of how accessible coin collecting can be. You don't need to be a millionaire to get started. Many collectors discover rare and valuable coins in their everyday change. With knowledge, patience, and a bit of luck, even a simple penny can open the door to a world of historical intrigue and financial reward. Beyond its financial value, this coin serves as a time capsule of sorts, a tiny copper-plated token that links us to a very specific moment in American history. As banks collapsed and bailouts were debated in Washington, this little coin emerged, unnoticed at first, from the presses of the U.S. Mint, destined to one day be recognized for its remarkable uniqueness. In the ever-evolving world of numismatics, where history meets chance and art meets science, coins like the 2008 era penny reign supreme. Their stories captivate, their rarity fascinates, and their value astonishes. They serve as reminders that sometimes greatness lies in the smallest places. So, the next time you come across a penny, take a second look. Examine its details. You might just be holding a $145,000 treasure that history and error conspired to create. Number 3. In 2012, amid technological advancements and shifting economic landscapes, the United States Mint continued its timeless tradition of striking coins that reflect the nation's heritage. Among the billions of coins minted that year, the 2012 Lincoln cent, produced in Philadelphia, seemed like just another penny at first glance. But buried among the ordinary were a few extraordinary examples that would captivate collectors and numismatists alike. One such specimen would ultimately be valued at a staggering $138,000. The Lincoln cent, one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, features a design first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse showcases Lincoln's familiar profile. Over the years, the coin has evolved, from the wheat reverse, 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial, 1959 to 2008, and finally to the current Union Shield reverse introduced in 2010. The Union Shield, designed by Lyndall Bass, symbolizes Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War, with a single horizontal bar uniting 13 vertical stripes. The 2012 Lincoln cent, composed of copper-plated zinc, was mass-produced in the billions, with Philadelphia striking over 4.4 billion coins that year. The vast majority of these pennies are completely unremarkable. But occasionally, a small number are struck with errors that elevate them from pocket change to prized collectibles. In one such remarkable instance, a 2012 penny emerged bearing a dramatic and easily visible double obverse (DDO) error. The doubling appeared in the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 2012. These anomalies, while rare, are highly sought after by collectors. The error indicated a mistake during the die-making process, when the design was inadvertently stamped twice onto the die at slightly different angles. But error alone does not make a coin valuable. This particular 2012 cent stood out not just for the doubling, but for its pristine condition. Graded MS-70 red by the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). An MS-70 grade represents a coin with absolutely no post-production imperfections visible under 5x magnification. Combined with its vivid red luster and flawless strike, the coin became a standout specimen in the world of modern numismatics. The demand for coins like this one has surged in recent years, as collectors grow more interested in modern mint errors and high-grade examples. The story behind these coins, their minting flaws, rarity, and perfect preservation, adds a level of mystery and intrigue that drives competitive bidding at auctions. When this extraordinary 2012 P. Lincoln cent went to auction, collectors recognized its value immediately. The rarity of the error, the immaculate condition, and the rising popularity of modern error coins culminated in a fierce bidding war. Ultimately, the hammer came down at an eye-popping $138,000. Such a valuation for a modern 1-cent coin might seem surprising to the casual observer, but in the world of coin collecting, the trifecta of error, condition, and historical resonance creates immense value. This coin serves as a reminder that even the smallest denominations can carry the greatest worth, if they are born under rare circumstances and preserved with care. For hobbyists and serious collectors alike, coins like the 2012 PDDO penny are treasures hiding in plain sight. Most people wouldn't give a second thought to a penny. But a close inspection, with a magnifying glass and a keen eye, might just reveal doubling in the lettering or an unusually perfect surface. These subtle clues could turn a common coin into a life-changing discovery. Coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where everyday finds can yield extraordinary returns. This is especially true with modern US coins, as minting technology, while highly advanced, is not immune to human error. And when error meets perfection, as it did with the 2012 penny, the results can be astonishing. What makes this coin even more fascinating is how recent it is. Unlike ancient relics or coins buried underground for centuries, this penny was minted just over a decade ago, likely touched by machines, not people, before being sealed, graded, and auctioned. It connects today's collectors with the ongoing story of American coinage, bridging history and the present in a piece no bigger than a thumbnail. The moral of this coin's journey is simple: look closely. Sometimes, treasure hides in the most unlikely places. And next time you find a 2012 Lincoln cent in your change, it may be worth more than just 1 cent. Perhaps, with a rare error and pristine finish, it might just be worth $138,000. Number 4. In 2006, the U.S. Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing Lincoln cents, coins that have become one of the most iconic pieces of American currency. The 2006 P. Lincoln cent, minted in Philadelphia, may appear to be just another penny to most people. However, for numismatists and coin collectors, it holds a unique allure, especially when certain error variants and pristine conditions come into play. This is the story of how one such seemingly common coin reached an astonishing value of $110,000. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, was a revolutionary design for its time. It marked the first time a real person, Abraham Lincoln, was featured on a U.S. coin. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained relatively unchanged for over a century, showcasing Lincoln's iconic profile. The reverse in 2006 still bore the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This reverse design was eventually replaced in 2010 with the Union Shield, but in 2006, the memorial still stood as a tribute to Lincoln's legacy. Minted primarily from copper-plated zinc, the 2006 cent had a mass mintage in the billions. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 2.8 billion pennies that year. Among such a vast production, quality control can sometimes falter, and these rare lapses can result in error coins that become the treasures of the collecting world. One particular 2006 P cent stood out due to a stunning double die obverse (DDO) error. This rare error caused visible doubling in the inscriptions. Liberty, in God we trust. And the date, 2006. Such a striking and well-defined doubling is not just an anomaly, it's a minting error caused during the die creation process, and these errors are avidly sought by collectors. The rarity of this error alone made the coin special, but its immaculate condition elevated it to an elite status. Graded MS-70 red by PCGS, the coin was deemed flawless under 5x magnification. It exhibited no post-mint handling marks, retained a vibrant red luster, and featured razor-sharp details. When this particular coin appeared at auction, it generated considerable buzz. Collectors recognized not only the significance of the DDO error, but also the scarcity of such an error in perfect mint state. The bidding was intense, with enthusiasts eager to add this gem to their collections. Eventually, the hammer fell at an incredible $110,000. Such a valuation might seem unbelievable for a 1-cent coin minted in the 21st century, but in the numismatic world, condition and rarity dictate value. The convergence of a rare error and a pristine MS-70 grade made this coin a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Coins like the 2006 P Lincoln cent serve as a reminder that extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight. It also shows the importance of careful examination. Something as minor as a slight doubling or an unusually brilliant finish could transform a common coin into a highly prized treasure. For collectors and hobbyists, stories like this fuel the excitement of the hunt. Every coin roll, every handful of change, holds the potential for discovery. It's not just about monetary value. It's about the thrill of uncovering a piece of history, an artifact that connects us to the minting process, to American heritage, and to the legacy of one of the nation's greatest leaders. As the world of numismatics continues to grow and modern coins gain more appreciation, the value of such coins is only expected to rise. The 2006 P Lincoln cent, with its rare double die obverse and flawless condition, stands as a shining example of how modern U.S. coinage still holds surprises for those willing to look closely. So, the next time you receive change or open a coin roll, remember, somewhere among those pennies, there could be a coin worth $110,000, waiting to be discovered. Number 5. In 2013, the U.S. Mint continued the long-standing tradition of producing the Lincoln cent, a coin that has been in circulation since 1909. Over a century old, this small copper-plated coin has become an icon in American currency, honoring one of the nation's most revered presidents, Abraham Lincoln. That year, the Philadelphia and Denver mints struck billions of pennies, featuring the Union Shield reverse introduced in 2010, a design meant to represent a unified federal government. The 2013 Lincoln cent continued to be minted in large quantities, yet among the sea of coins, a rare few would rise above the rest. It was from this unassuming mintage that a remarkable coin emerged, struck in Philadelphia, and eventually graded MS-70 red by a leading grading service. This designation meant the coin was in perfect condition, with no imperfections under 5x magnification, exhibiting full original luster and outstanding eye appeal. However, what propelled this coin into numismatic fame was not just its flawless condition. This 2013 cent displayed a rare minting anomaly, a double die obverse error. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2013, showed crisp, distinct doubling. Such an error is the result of a misalignment during the hubbing process, creating doubled elements that become highly desirable to collectors. The combination of a modern date, pristine condition, and a dramatic error is a trifecta rarely seen. Once authenticated and certified, this cent gained attention among advanced collectors and investors alike. Modern era coins have been steadily gaining value due to their scarcity and the increased interest in contemporary minting mistakes. As anticipation grew, the coin was brought to a major auction house where competitive bidding drove its final hammer price to an astounding $105. 500. This story serves as a powerful reminder to both collectors and the curious public that even modern pennies can hold extraordinary value. It's not always the age of the coin that matters, but the uniqueness, condition, and story behind it. The 2013 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how numismatics continues to surprise and inspire. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just checks their change out of habit, this tale proves that history and fortune can lie in the palm of your hand, in the form of a single, remarkable 1 cent coin.